When they told him the front rows were reserved for designated family only, he just stood there, his back straight, his hands behind him, his old Marine jacket faded but proud. He didn't push back when the usher pointed to the rear or when security inched closer. He simply held out a card, creased and worn, with words written in a son's careful hand. "Dad, I want you in the front row." They said he didn't belong, but 6 Navy SEALs in civilian clothes, seated in the 5th row, thought differently. And when they stood, quiet, deliberate, in unison, everything shifted. It was a clear spring morning at St. Albans College in rural Virginia. The sky was soft, the air light, and the campus hummed with anticipation. Balloons bobbing, cameras flashing, families buzzing with excitement. It was graduation day. Linda Monroe stepped out of her car, nerves dancing in her chest. She held the program tightly, her son's name circled and underlined beneath Dean's List. She'd read those 2 words over and over again these past weeks, letting pride settle into every corner of her heart. Her seat was 5th row, center left. Perfect view of the stage. She loved watching the graduates line up, shoulders squared, futures waiting. But that day, her gaze was drawn elsewhere, to the man near the exit door. He hadn't entered with the crowd. He came in alone, from the side, moving with intention. The Marine jacket he wore had seen better days. His boots were worn. His face was weathered, not unkind. He stood still, watching, waiting. He wasn't on the list. He didn't have a printed pass. When he tried to sit near the front, an usher blocked his way, clipboard clutched to her chest. "Sir, this section is reserved for family." "My son's graduating today," he replied softly. "He asked me to be here." But she didn't check, didn't ask, just waved him off. Security hovered. He stepped back without a word. Linda noticed. So did the 6 men just a few seats away, calm, observant. They weren't reacting like the rest of the crowd. They were waiting. The ceremony began. A student speaker, a polished young man in a tailored suit, made a remark that landed like a slap. A special thanks to the picture-perfect families in the front rows. Real examples of college values. Some chuckled. Linda didn't. The Marine didn't. And neither did the men in row 5. The Marine remained at the back, silent, still. He wasn't there for a spotlight. He was there for his son. When security returned, ready to escort him out, Linda leaned forward, pulse pounding. Still, he didn't resist. He pulled something from his coat. A card. Folded. Handwritten. He held it gently. "My son sent this," he said. "I won't leave until I see him cross that stage." The usher didn't care. "No guest pass, no seat," she insisted. He stepped back again. And then, one chair slid, then another. 6 men stood. Row 5 emptied. They didn't speak, they didn't shout. But the shift was seismic. One approached the Marine. From his jacket pocket, he pulled a badge, not police, not rank, a trident. The unmistakable emblem of a Navy SEAL. "That man doesn't leave," he said calmly. "He led us through hell. He stays." Gasps whispered across the rows. And then, from the far side of the auditorium, another voice rose, aged, unwavering. "I know that man. Master Sergeant Raymond Cole, 3rd Recon. Kandahar, 2006. He ran back into fire, brought 5 men out. Only one came back, because he carried the rest." The silence was absolute. And then, from the graduates section, a young man in a cap and gown stepped forward, eyes searching, hands trembling. His voice into the mic was thin but resolute. "That's my dad. He didn't want attention, he never did, but every day of my life he taught me, stand tall, keep going, be someone you'd be proud to look in the eye. And I'm proud today, not of this degree, not of this ceremony, but of him." He walked to the back, saluted. Raymond Cole didn't return the salute. He embraced his son. And the 6 SEALs behind them? They saluted too. By the time father and son walked toward the front, the crowd had parted. Not because someone told them to, but because it was right. Raymond didn't boast, didn't strut. He just took his seat, second row, center left, beside the boy who had given him that card. And the seals? They didn't sit down. They stood behind him. Still. When the dean returned to the mic, his voice cracked. Today, we welcome a guest of great distinction, one we didn't recognize soon enough. He paused. The applause wasn't loud, but it was deep, measured, earned. After the ceremony, Linda stayed behind. She watched students, one by one, stop by Raymond's seat. No words, just hands on shoulders, nods, silent thanks. One girl, tear-streaked, saluted and whispered, "Thank you for carrying them." One of the seals stepped forward and handed Raymond a coin. A challenge coin. Engraved with 5 words. The quiet ones lead the loudest wars. Raymond didn't cry. But Linda swore, for a moment. His shoulders softened, like something heavy had been shared. As the auditorium emptied and the lights dimmed, Linda turned back one last time. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. That man came for a seat. By the time he left, the whole room was standing. Not out of duty, not out of ceremony, but because they owed him.